So now that we've decided, we've discussed what Vawa is, let's figure out who qualifies for Vawa. So who qualifies for Vawa? Abused spouse of a US citizen and LPR, which is legal permanent resident, a green card holder. So if you're the abused spouse of a green card holder or US citizen, you could qualify for Vawa. You have to meet other qualifications, but that's the start for starters, okay? Now, this is a qualification that a lot of people don't know. If you're a non-abused spouse of a US citizen or green card holder whose child has been abused, you can also qualify to file Vawa. So what that means is that even if you have not been abused, but your child has been abused by a US citizen or green card holder that you're married to, you can petition as a Vawa victim, even though your children on their own too can also apply for Vawa, but you can apply for Vawa even though you're not being abused, right? Even though it's just your child that's been abused. And of course, like I said, abused children of a US citizen or green card holder can qualify. Now, in immigration, a child is a legal term. And what it means is somebody who's under 21 and unmarried. And a stepchild, for you to be a stepchild, you have to show that the step relationship, which is the relationship that made you a stepchild of the US citizen, happened before you were 18. So not on your 18th birthday, before you turned 18. So in that case, if that marriage between your parent and the US citizen or green card holder took place before you turned 18, you were a stepchild and you can apply for Vawa. So now there's some people, Congress has made it easier for children to apply for Vawa if they don't apply at the age of 21. So they give you till 25 to apply, but you have to show that the reason you delayed applying was because of the abuse. So you have to show a link between your delay in applying for Vawa and the abuse that you suffered. Now, this is another category that a lot of people don't know about. It's called the abused intended spouse. So this means a spouse who entered a bigamous marriage in good faith. So if you're married to a US citizen or green card holder, and then you later find that they never got a proper divorce and were in essence still married, that really makes your marriage to them void. Your marriage to them is not a valid marriage. However, this exception allows you as somebody who's in a bigamous relationship marriage with a US citizen or green card holder to still apply for Vawa because you didn't realize that they were not divorced. So to be able to do this, to get this exception, you have to show two things. You have to show that, first of all, you were not aware that they were not properly divorced, or that you thought they were, you may not have known that they were even married at all. So you have to show that, or at least allege that you thought that they were they qualified to get into a marital relationship with you, right? And then the second thing, you have to have had a valid ceremony. So two things to be able to use that intended spouse, which is an exception that is created for people who enter a bigamous marriage. You have to show that, number one, you didn't realize that your spouse was not legally divorced or had been married before and was not in a position to marry you. And number two, you had a valid ceremony. And we've discussed this, actually we had abused parents of US citizens. Now, remember this, not abused parents of green card holders, only abused parents of US citizens can file for Vawa, but the child has to be over the age of 21. So a US citizen over the age of 21, if you're the parent of a US citizen over the age of 21, you can file for Vawa. And this really helps a lot of people who, who are not able to actually adjust status if their child were to file for them because of the way they entered into the country. So if that child is treating you badly or, being, cruel to you, then you can file Vawa, and with Vawa, you don't even need to show that, you don't need to show that you have to, that you can adjust status because you came with a visa or that your visa expired. It doesn't matter if you came in without through the border. So this really helps a lot of people who came in without a legal visa.